Good afternoon, Diane and Tom. Great to see you again. I'm Dean Sackett, president of Homestead Building Company, and you're one of our lovely customers. We've known each other actually for almost 3 years. I'm going to round up. I'm going to use a little bit of
Yeah.
math fudging, but almost 3 years.
Yeah.
And you came to us out of state. You built with Homestead here in Raleigh, but you were living in Maryland or in Maryland at the time. And we pulled it off together, my company and the two of you. And it took a lot of patience and a lot of focus, but we did it. And I just want to talk a little bit about your perspective as being a Homestead customer. I'm starting this new mini series, and appreciate you joining me for this.
Certainly.
And really, three quick questions. You build a custom home, you build it remote, you build it in a place you never lived before. So you threw a lot of stress into the mix all straight away. Just how did that go? How did we do during that part of the journey from when we first contracted until we handed you the keys?
I would say you all did a spectacular job, to tell the truth. I mean, building a house is stressful, right? Building a house out of state is stressful. We were living in Maryland, but we were also living in Delaware.
That's right. That's right.
And that added a degree of stress. So we were coming down here once every few weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, back and forth, lots of video conferencing as well. And you all had the team to pull it off. Melanie, our project lead, was spectacular, hands down, spectacular. She managed the process, she managed the subs, she managed us. So I have no complaints whatsoever about the build process. I mean, there are 1,000,001 decisions, and sometimes I would quibble and want to say, why are we making the decision about this? Instead, we want to be making decisions about that.
Yeah.
But timelines are what they are, and so we recognize that. But there were no major hiccups, no major complaints. We had others here in town who were also coming by and keeping an eye for us. Chad, our realtor, we have family in the area, they were coming by. So it was a big team effort all the way around, but I think it worked tremendously well.
Thank you. Thank you. I'd have to say that's probably, as we all look back at the COVID period, that ability to communicate and the tolerance for communicating that way. I think we were all a bit more conditioned for that, but we were striving really hard as a team to not lose focus of that. That we just had to be on our game. And if we said something that wasn't well received, we had to backtrack. Not because we'd said it in a wrong way, it wasn't, we needed to come back and clarify. And that was a big part of it.
Yeah, no issues whatsoever.
That was a big part of it. So, and you guys, high risk. I mean, so I was thinking this as I was getting ready for this conversation. I believe the last time I saw you face to face, you had just pulled in. You didn't drive together. Something I remember the Audi sitting in the garage, but you hadn't driven in together, and the movers were coming. This was like the last handover, so there was no delay really between here are your keys, we're out of here, and all of your beautiful belongings arriving.
I think it was about 15 minutes.
Literally, the trucks were down the street. It was 3 moving vans. They were positioned down Shelley. We were here. We drove separately. We had one of our sons flying in, another family member picking him up. He showed up 20 minutes later. It was absolute chaos.
It was.
And that was the last time that you saw us at that point.
Correct.
And we did the handover. And then the chaos started.
But look at how beautiful it is.
Thank you.
Look at how beautiful it is. So that last time I saw you then was really the initiation of our 1-year warranty period, which you've just come out of.
Yes.
So tell me about that a little bit, because that's something, warranty, people hear it, and it is a big part of what we do and a big part of what we're responsible for. But how did my team do through that 12-month period?
Wonderfully. Through the entire process. Can I mention names?
Absolutely.
Paige and Kevin were always accessible. And I will admit there were some stupid homeowner questions, and Kevin never made me feel stupid when he came over and just flipped a switch that I didn't know was there. They were always receptive. They were always willing to work with us, or a couple times just manage expectations of, yes, we will do that, but why don't we wait until we get all of the things, similar types, and do that all at once.
I think Kevin's a member of the family now.
So she bakes bread for any time he comes over.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't gotten any bread, so clearly I'm the lost.
You haven't fixed any electrical outlets.
No, you have not. No, and I swear at times the dogs think he's a member of the family, right? He gets down on the floor with them as soon as he comes in. But Paige is spectacular at tracking down the subs to make sure they get back out to address things. I want to give Homestead big compliments, because there was a problem with one of the front doors, and that apparently was falling out of warranty right when when it was discovered.
Mm.
And Homestead went above and beyond to say, no, we'll make that right, even if the company itself, the door company itself, won't make it right. We will. So that's the kind of attention, detail, but also follow through.
And that's what we want.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
exactly.
but there are also very difficult conversations from time to time.
Oh yes.
I don't think we really had any, but those expectations, not everybody sees it as I'm a homeowner. There's a homeowner issue, and it's how we handle ourselves through
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so
But no, I mean, we haven't had any of the difficult conversations really with Homestead. There have been a couple of just, us to Homestead, Homestead to a sub, getting them to come out
correct.
and address something. But again, that's not on Homestead, but Homestead has been the one who stepped in and said, we will we will manage that process and we will manage that sub to make sure that they make it right. But the whole house turned out, I think, better than what we envisioned. Right.
Yes,
I mean,
it
some
was-
of the design decisions we were making from a mental image. Right.
Right.
So the wine storage, that was a mental image we had. It didn't exist on any plan,
Correct.
and we just kind of created that. And Melanie seized on that mental image, and she was like, "Oh, I can do that."
And I think if memory serves, I think it was Melanie or someone from Homestead who said, "Well, if we're going to do that, why don't we do this? You should, if you're, and just it was a collaborative effort of
Yeah.
we have this blue sky idea, and it's like, well, to really implement it, you really want to do this. And it's like, it was a wonderful process.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
I mean, we have volunteered people who've asked us about Homestead. Would you use them again? And we've said, if we ever build again, which I doubt, in an area where Homestead builds, then we will only build with Homestead.
Thank you. That's a testament. And I'm blushing over here. So
Well,
thank you.
well, but it worked. I mean, it worked. It was as minimally stressful as an out-of-state custom build could possibly be. I'm not sure what that statement is, but
agreed.
yeah,
Agreed.
yeah, take it as a compliment.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, last question then. You've started mentioning names. Is there anybody you'd specifically call out on the team that just
First and foremost, Melanie. She is well organized. She communicates well and crisply. She's detail oriented. She manages in what I would call the old 360, up, down, and sideways.
Yep.
Right. So she can manage those subs. And we actually had some of the subs who volunteered to us when they were here, and it was during early meetings. One of them asked, "Who's your project lead?" And we said, "It's Melanie." It was like, "Oh, this will be an easy one."
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, when that's coming from a subcontractor, that's a huge statement in my book. So Melanie, hands down. Kevin, as we've said, he's willing to fix or diagnose almost anything. He's lovely.
He's lovely.
He's
correct.
lovely.
Yeah.
Paige, again, great attention to detail, great follow through. I would say those are kind of hallmarks through the whole process.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I think what we've underpinned that with inside of the organization is everybody's a customer.
Yeah.
So as you described Melanie and saying the full 360, really what I've tried to instill is that everybody's a customer. Our trade base is a customer. Our customers are obviously a customer. Your colleagues are a customer. The city inspectors are a customer.
Exactly.
May not feel like it in the very moment when you're in front of them, but
No.
but they're
No,
a
not
customer.
always.
So how do you
Yeah.
please a customer? You
Yeah.
communicate clearly,
Yeah.
intelligently.
Yeah.
And so thank you for that feedback. Okay. Well,
It's a
thank you very
pleasure.
much for your time today and for welcoming us into your home. It's such a nice space. I could see living in it myself. So,
No, build your
thank you
own.
both.
You're welcome.